hope you like maps and pictures because they got a lot of them to put up today. So I'm down in Red Wing, across the street from the depot. That's the YMCA. And this is the old, I guess it's Fleshman's, was the Red Wing malting company at one time. And this is where that freight house sat that you just saw in the picture that I put up. So that's the Milwaukee Road Freight House. And if you were born after October 1984, you probably never saw it because it was torn down in October of 1984 by Fleshman's. That's the owner of that building at the time. It was a malting company, and it goes back to Red Wing Malting Company, but Fleshman's owned it at the time, and they were going to do some, I don't know, work on the parking lot or something. They were going to save it, and then they wound up tearing it down. So 1984 October is when it was torn down. So if you were born after that, you never, it's just a lot you saw. But if you were born before that date, you probably knew it as the Milwaukee Road Freight House. Now, if you were born before 1905, when the depot across the street that's here now was built, then you probably knew it as the depot, because it was used as a depot up until that point. After 1905, it was used as the freight house. So we're going to go all the way back in time. So I'm going to put up the first map of the day. Goes back to 1868. The map maker was an artist, I'm telling you. It's a beautiful map, but I have to defunk it. That's right, there was no railroad in Red Wing in 1868. I think he must have knew it was going to come in and drew it on the map. That's what I think, because the railroad came in 1870. Now there's a school listed on the map too, and it had a wraparound deck on it, and I thought, well, maybe he drew that as a depot, but I see the cupola on top, makes me think it's a school. I can't find any information on that school. There was a Hamlin Preparatory School that was in Red Wing, that was down here by where the railroad tracks are now, but it was in a two-story building, so I don't know anything about that school. But the school that's on the map, the cool thing about it is, you see that depot behind me? That's exactly where that school is on the map. Okay, I'm going to put up a Milwaukee Road Railroad map, and then I'm going to show you a specific section on it, and I'll outline the dates the railroad came in, so you can see where we're at. So that kind of gives you a timeline on when the railroad was coming down, which section was built when. And little more information about that. We're talking about the Milwaukee and St. Paul Railroad. The name itself tells you what their goal was, and that came about in 1863. It's been working its way towards Red Wing. It's building new railroad lines, it's buying other railroad lines, and it's making its way from St. Paul to Red Wing. So for those of you not from Red Wing, this is Barn Bluff in the background, and this next photo was taken from there. And in that photo, you'll see the town of Red Wing, and right about the end of that boxcar over there, facing us, was probably about where the first depot sat. Oh, maybe 50 feet back off of this street. And if you look at the old maps, it kind of shows you that it's in between the two blocks that's here. So that map I just put up was 1874. And I think that that is the first depot that would be in that map because we're going back to 1870, okay? And if it would have been the depot after the addition of 1874, it would have looked much, much longer, okay? So I'm gonna date this photo that I'm gonna put up to between 1870 and 1874, because I know that in 1874, the depot in this photo would have been about 150 feet long, and this one here is about 70 feet long. So that's how I came up with the date for this photo and when it was taken. And also, you'll notice the St. James Hotel isn't there yet. And that was being built in 1874 and opened up in 1875. And another thing you'll notice is the Jordan Creek or Jordan Ravine. You'll notice that running down the road here next to Broad Street. And that's also in that. And also you'll be able to see some other buildings. The Hamlin University you can see back in the corner if you really look at that. So I'm going to put that up next. So up to this point, we have the 1870 depot and the 1874 addition onto it. So we've got a depot that's about 150 feet long. And now it's 1886 and people are clamoring that we need a new depot. So in 1887, they move the old depot back and they put a new depot on this end of it. As we're looking at where it's at there, it's on this end. And if you look at the old picture, I'll put it up again, there's some marking on it, that would bring the new depot all the way up to Broad Street. And I have a discrepancy with some maps after that that still show the depot too far back. So I don't believe it was that far back. I think somebody shortcutted those maps or made a mistake or something. And I'll put all of that up. I don't have a picture of the addition on the 1870, 1873, but I will put up a picture later and I'll mark out a depot on where those were.
so. No, 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 no. I don't think so. No, 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 no. It's never, ever, 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 ever gonna happen.
So this is the Mississippi River, Red Wings on the Mississippi River. I'm gonna pan around here. And I think from across the river is where this photo was taken from. And this photo is, I think, 1920 is what it said, circa 1920. So you see the freight house right out in front of us now in this photo. And because I don't have a photo of the depot, when it was added onto in 1874, I am going to break this depot into different sections so that you can see when each section was built on it. Well, we've seen a lot of maps and a lot of photos so far. I'm going to show you some more photos. We're going to walk around and I'm going to show you some more photos down here, and we're going to have a great time. But first, I have to say thank you to Liz up at the Goodhue County Historical Society, because she's the research librarian there. And she digs things out for me. Every time I go there, she meets me with a smile on her face, and she's one of the nicest people that you could ever meet. So I'll be back after I put up a few credits so you can see where some of this stuff came from. And this is the Jobbers Union expedition, and in this photo the 1905 depot is not there. The 1887 depot is to the right of me, just out of the photo. And this is one of my favorites because of the train. I just love it. This is your Milwaukee Road, man. Right there. So this next photo goes back to 1898, and this is, I believe, Company G leaving for the Spanish-American War. So this is about where this photo was taken. You can see all of these, I don't know if they're Model 8 cars, goes back to about 1912 or 1914. It was said that the cars in the photo were going to go to the Pioneer Garage. So here's the picture on that one. Now, if you're wondering where the Pioneer Garage was, right up here is where the Pioneer Garage was from this side, and that's where it was going. They probably had a lift in that building that brought the cars up to the showroom floor. And you can still see the ghost sign on the building. Pioneer Garage. So I am up on Main Street, Route 61, and I am looking at what was once the Pioneer Garage. Yeah, this is the other side of that building. I thought I'd do this last one just because that old Pioneer garage looks so cool with the Ford sign sticking out in front. Okay, I even had a discussion at one time with Andrew Peters. He wrote a book about Camp Lakeview, and he knows all kinds of things about the military back then. This is 1817, and Company L is boarding the train. These are some of Red Wing's doughboys.
Johnny, get your gun, get your gun, get your gun. Take it on the run, on the run, on the run. Hear them calling you and me, every son of liberty. Hurry right away, no delay, go today. Make your daddy glad to have had such a lad. Tell your sweetheart not to pine, to be proud her boys.
All right, this is 1915, and there's 6 fellows standing out in front of this depot, and it's being used solely for freight at this time. I'm thinking those 6 fellows are probably employees that lined up for their photos. Well, I hope you had some fun with history. I know I had a lot of fun making this one. You know, I've been working on this for about 5 years. In fact, my channel is 5 years old now. I've been doing this for 5 years. Boy, time sure went by. Can't believe it. I've got some issues with some of the maps that they have up. They don't match up with the photographs. You know that once they put that addition on that 1870 depot, that would have brought it right up to the edge of Broadway. I mean, in the picture I put up, that depot was only about 35 or 40 feet back. I mean, there's a little platform and then some space, and there's Broad Street. So when they put that addition on there, they moved the depot back from the river towards the town more, and put that 1887 waiting room addition on. That would have brought it right up to Broad Street. So I have an issue with the maps that were made after that point that keep showing it set back that far from Broad Street. I even found a picture, of it sitting next to Broad Street. I think that was 1898. So I'm thinking the maps are wrong. You know, when you follow history's only as good as your sources. So did the best they could. I think I'm accurate. I really do think I'm accurate, but history's funny. Sometimes something else will come along and prove you wrong. So who can say? So I hope you enjoyed this. I'm going to put up a couple of videos here in the annotations of other things I've done. And I hope that you'll subscribe and maybe even join my Facebook group and follow me there. That's where we chat a little bit about history, and we have a good time with searching out this railroad history in Hiawathaland. So I'll see you on my next one. God bless you all.